Oh, boss, why did you drag me out of my nice warm house?
I know, because we actually have to go do a couple quotes, you guys.
It is 34 degrees out by the time we get up there to Asheville. Now, keep in mind, we're not taking any more jobs in Asheville. We're actually getting rid of them. But this is a client that is selling a house up there. We mow. You guys seen the patio we did with the river rock bed. He has a house he's selling up there.
Yeah.
Wants us to get it ready to sell. So
yes.
We're going to run up there because I need more trays for my plants that we're going to plant in this video. We're going to do some transplanting and some more seed planting. And we will show you how big the plants are getting. They're growing pretty fast.
They are growing.
And we're
really
going to make some worm compost tea. We did get our shipment of worms in, but they were all dead.
Yeah.
And they smelled really bad. I started almost throwing up.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. We got them, we put them on the table. We went out for the day. We came back in and we started smelling like a sour smell.
Yeah, really bad. And
we're like, oh my gosh.
I looked everywhere, opened the fridge, looked
yeah.
at the trash.
We didn't know what it was. And we're like, what? So then all of a sudden, we took out the trash. We thought of everything, you know.
I picked up the worm bag and it smelled so bad.
He's
and
like,
I said,
oh my gosh, they're dead.
I looked in there. They were all dead and slimy.
Yeah.
So our first experience, but Rachel emailed them and they quickly are sending us out another batch of worms.
Yeah, it was
problem.
so easy. Like, they didn't even ask for a picture or anything. I don't have to return anything, so we can just throw them away. And they should be here in 2 days. So
hopefully we'll be able to make worm buckets soon and have the worms to go in it. But
yeah,
we're going to
eventually harvesting our own
worm compost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
really
we had to buy store-bought stuff to start it because you'll see the plants, they're getting pretty big and we do have to start feeding them and I want to do it organic.
And we just want to say thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you don't know who we are, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Carl.
Yes, and we are Happy's family. And we are thankful to be able to vlog for you guys and share our journey.
So let's take you and show you this little quick estimates real quick. And then we'll go ahead and get in the house and start planting and get out of this cold.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so this is the house we estimated. About 10 yards of mulch. Most of it's on the other side. About 6 hours of pruning and cleanup. We're not going to mow, and then that's probably about it. There's not too much that needs to be pruned up, so we'll probably do the 6 hours times our hourly rate, and then the 10 yards of mulch times what we charge for mulch. Okay guys, we are back in the house. We're going to get ready to plant some seeds here. You guys can see, look at all the beautiful plants we have going on now. Look how tall some of this lettuce is. And these are zinnias, and that's not the only thing that's growing. They might need these probably need water. But if you look under here, there's a lot more under there. So I'm not sure. We might transplant some, we might not. But for now, until Rachel's ready to come out here, I'm gonna set up this. I found a bubbler with a bubble rock on it. It has pipes and stuff to put all in here to do it some other weird way, but I have that bubbler rock, so I'm just gonna put the compost in here, bubble it, and then we need to start watering these plants. These have been in the same leaf compost for a while now, and they look really good. Some of these plants are, look how big some of these zinnias are. Nice. Really limited on light, you can see. We just have this one light and then these shop lights under. And what I do is I rotate every day. Plant all the plants that are on the bottom go on the top for a day, and all the ones on the top go on the bottom for a day. Next week we're going to start switching these outside when it starts to get about 50. Now, I had Samuel on YouTube had told me how to do this compost tea, because I wasn't sure. I was just going to do worm compost. I don't have molasses. I thought I did, but we're going to substitute it for raw honey. We read you could do that. I'm going to put a little bit of kelp in, and then worm castings in the little bag there, and then we're going to bubble it in there for 48 hours. And what we're going to do, I got it all figured out. I'm going to do 10 tablespoons of kelp and 5 tablespoons of molasses for 5 gallons, and then 2.5, close to 3 cups of worm castings. And I'm going to use honey instead of the molasses. So there you go. I only ended up doing 5 of the kelp and a little bit less honey. I'm going to add more water. I want it to be less strength for now when I go to water these plants, because they've never had any nutrients yet. So we're gonna go ahead and do it at like a little bit less of a rate, and then see what happens.
Good evening. Good evening.
So we're back out at our chatting office. We're gonna talk to you about some plants and lawn care in the upcoming season, right?
Yeah, so it is about to be the upcoming season for sure, and now is the time where you start, putting out all your quotes and getting ready for the season. And not necessarily just even lawn care and landscaping. I mean, if you're doing farming full time, this is probably also one of your busiest months.
Yeah,
I would think. It's just getting ready for the season, and hopefully it's a good one.
We started sending out our fertilizer quotes. Some people aren't going to go back with us because we kind of required a soil test to get a balance on everybody's lawns this year.
Yeah, so we are just trying to dial in a little bit more and just be sure that proper lime soil is very different around here, in different areas even. Mm-hmm. We have some clients that have a lot of pine trees in their yard, and I think we're going to find that their soil pH is a little bit lower than some of our other clients. So I just think, and we think that it's important to do that soil test this year. We've never required it before.
And we've never done it before, and we've been fertilized, and we probably should have in the beginning made this a rule, and it's to all of our new clients too. We just want to be able to dial in. And like we said, almost 95%, if not more, of clients are perfectly fine with that. They said go for it so far. Only a couple that were new last year.
And it may just be, I may just have to respond back to them and just give them a little bit more information as to why we want this soil test. We are not making a lot of money off this soil test.
And they have the option at both the counties we do work in, offer it for free. You have to do the legwork, dig the dirt up, put it in a jar, send it out. They'll give it back to you for free.
To your ag, local ag. But so we did tell them that, if they don't want to pay us, then they just do the legwork and pass the information on to us. But this way we'll know how much lime we should put down on a client's yard.
If it's missing any nutrients.
Should we up the iron a little bit? I mean, there was a whole list of nutrients that it tests for, and then again we can pass that information on to our clients.
And like we said, same thing with mowing. If you up your prices, we did on a couple clients, we're pretty sure they'll go back with us, but we're in a situation we're not too concerned because like we said, we dialed in our business. We're trying to be a full service, to mow the lawn, fertilize, do all the pruning, mulching. At least if you don't do all that, at least weekly mowing we at least require. We're trying to do this year, and we're limited. We're only 40 accounts this year, boss.
It's it does take years though to get to the point where you can charge what you deserve, I guess.
So a good way to try to do that, guys, is if you're new and you've been in business for a couple of years, every time you go out to do a new quote, just raise your price a little bit if you feel your previous job wasn't enough and you did a lot of work and you're new to trying to learn prices. If you're getting a good rule of thumb, if you're getting every estimate you put out, then you might be a little low. And a lot of people will tell you that.
Yeah, just look at your prices a little bit.
And readjust them. And as you start to up your prices, you'll start to hit a ceiling to where you won't get as many of your quotes, but you're still getting more money to make up for that. Now, you don't want to keep doing that infinitely until you're charging like $500 an hour, but you want to get to where you're comfortable and you can meet all your numbers. Because it's hard to do when you're first doing it. You don't know numbers.
No.
I mean, you don't.
It's a big guessing game. And honestly, even still, 11 years into business, it's still sometimes a guessing game. Even like we get rock from a certain yard and we know how much we pay. So then we quote out a job and we're paying this amount. And then we find out, our rock yard doesn't have what we need, so then we have to go somewhere else, right? So you try to prepare for things like that, and you try to prepare for weather. Even okay, well, I think it's going to be a really rainy April, so let's try to get all of our mulch done in March. will dry, but if it's 40 degrees one day, obviously.
Yeah, last year we were already starting to start fertilizing people, and
Yeah.
obviously not this year because tonight we are supposed to get a severe ice storm.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, guys, we don't lose power. We're thinking about everybody in Texas.
Yeah,
Stay safe
yes.
out there. If you're trying to heat in any means, stay safe and heat your house.
Yeah,
so you
just
don't
be
harm
aware.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
be aware of what you're doing. You know, a lot of times people just forget to check the little things.
If you're gonna go get something that's not your heater in your house because of no electricity, just make sure you get a carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, we do have have them. So
stay safe, guys,
Yeah.
and stay warm.
Yes.
So we're gonna plant some seeds. What kind of seeds are we gonna do tonight?
So tonight, we're just gonna do some more flower seeds. Again, you know what is February 21st is today, right?
Mhm.
Is that what I said? Yeah.
Yes.
No, February 17th. What am I doing?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, you're jumping. You really
Oh my
want to get out
gosh.
there and get to work.
I know.
So if you guys
Today's February 17th.
and if you guys remember, we started 1/17, right?
Yeah, a month ago.
No,
So it's
are you-
been,
What is this here?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
January 17th
January 17th.
is when we started our first seed. Oh, January 11th. We did plant a couple January 11th, like the chamomile, the coneflower.
zinnias, as you can see. And these are the plants from a little over a month ago, I would
Yeah,
say.
so they're really looking really good. And
Oh, and guys, remember the last video? Not the last video, the one before that where we started these other seeds already popping up?
yeah, so when was that? I wrote that down, right? That was on the 12th. So it's been a week.
A week.
But they started popping up like no, 5 days. It's only been 5 days.
Oh, they started popping up in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen it pop
crazy.
up.
So
So the soil is magnificent.
I guess
so
because
far.
it's just so loomy and the seeds don't really move. Like, I think a lot of times when you don't have seeds germinate, it's because maybe you're planting them too deep or they fall to the bottom of the tray, and you know, they can't do that. They won't germinate if they do that. So they need some type of light, right? If they're too
Yes.
deep,
Yes.
they won't germinate.
And hopefully the fan noise isn't too loud. It's
Yeah, so we have the fan going because that helps just make really sturdy plants.
Yes.
It gives them some motion, and we've been really lucky again.
Oh, guys. This is the purple coneflower we started. No, not this
The-
one. This is not the purple coneflower.
No,
we
that is
started.
not.
This is not the tomato plant we started. This grew up out of the leaf mold. that we
Yeah.
had. So we are going to keep it. It looks good.
I think it's probably some type of cherry tomato. So it may have been from, you know, one of the chickens went over there,
Yeah.
but that's all right. We're gonna, you know, it's been a
And
whole season.
Those are the echinacea that's popping up.
Aren't they so cute? The purple coneflower. They are. They're so cute.
It's all doing so well.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. We have been very lucky. We haven't had any like fungus gnats or really even any greening on the trays.
Very
so,
little.
Yeah, so really good. So we're lucky. So okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and start planting some celosia and some nasturtium, some salvia. I found actually envy zinnias, which are like a lime green color. So I'm super excited about these lime.
More nasturtium.
Yeah, and then the lime green zinnias. And then I have some bunching onions that we're gonna start, and then just dollar store seeds basically. So we'll just put these all in one tray and we'll see how they do. And then I did actually break down, you know, if you've been watching us, you know that we're a household of 6 and there's a lot going on all of the time. So as much as I tried saving the yogurt cups,
Yes.
I'm not digging through trash or recycling to get them. So I did actually break down and I bought like 500, and we can even put the link in our store, in our Amazon store, but 500 tags, and they're really nice and sturdy.
And also, too, we did that because that's a lot of cutting of yogurt. As you can see, we already have hundreds of plants, and we kind of need one for each tray as we go.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean,
So-
it was definitely, we used it, and I would continue to use it if I didn't need so many, but I think that I needed more. So 500 and they were not too bad. They were, I think, under $10. So Not bad at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my paint pen.
And Rachel has
And-
the sweet peas and wet paper towels to put them to germinate.
Oh, yes.
And a plastic bag you're gonna put them in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put them in a plastic bag too. But I also want to show you, I do put the date also on.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that that's a good idea to put the date. And then the whole idea with the sweet peas and the wet paper towel is, if you guys don't know, sweet peas, and these are not the sweet peas that you can eat. These are flour. So Old Spice mixed sweet pea, and then this is a Royal Family mixed pea. But they're kind of harder seeds. So they say sometimes you can scratch them up, but we're just gonna go ahead and put them right, and I'm gonna mix them. I don't care if they're mixed. But we're gonna go ahead and put them in there, put them in a plastic bag, and hopefully we soften up the shell before we actually plant them.
Yeah. So now is the time to get all your quotes out and all your price increases out. You do want to give your clients a little more time to be able to go somewhere else. You want them to be able to look for another person if you're going to raise their prices. And you will have some people that will do that, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, and I mean, not necessarily to give them time to go somewhere else, but you want to just make sure you give them time and make sure that they know that you're coming back. Don't wait too long to let people know that you're coming back and you're in the pictures. But remember, we are writing everything in a book just so that we have it in one spot. But I want to get some tags started so that we know what we're planting here. Does anybody have any other good tips? And we would like to hear tips also from, homeowners' standpoint. Do you like to hear from your lawn person this early in the season? Do you think it's too early, or do you understand the need for trying to get in there,
Yeah. For us guys, it's beneficial if the client gets back to us early, because especially if you're only taking on limited accounts, or if you're taking on limited accounts, you want to know who's going to be back with you so you can build your schedule. This year we're trying to get everybody to make sure with fertilizing they get back to us before we start, and that way this year we can just go out and do all of our fertilizers in one day if weather.
Right. Well, and that is the one thing is that, especially with fertilizing, it's very weather dependent.
Yes.
So we watch the ground temperatures, and, even some clients will start to see the forsythia, old wives' tale, they see the forsythia blooming and they're like, oh no, you have to get my pre-emergence down. Well, okay, yes we could, but it's okay. We have done our research and we think that this is going to be the best way to do it.
Yeah,
so
we want to make sure we get rid of all.
And again, it's just educating your clients along the way. You educate yourself, educate them also. They want to know what's going on and, why are you doing this to their lawn, right?
Yeah.
Well, because you want a nice lawn, right?
And that's why we want to do the soil test this year. So
we would like to also hear from,
what's you guys' opinion?
Yeah,
Do you
what
guys
your
think
thoughts are.
Having a client requiring a client to get a soil test, whether they do it or we do it, is a good idea. We're going to do it, but I think it's a good idea. You can't, if you don't know what you're working with, and it's not something we're going to do every year and require every year. It's just this season, and then any new clients that decide to sign on, we're going to say the first year we want a soil test, because as long as you're putting the right amount of chemicals down after you have that test, you should be good. I mean, you don't want to over fertilize things. You don't want to under fertilize things. If you have too little lime, the grass doesn't grow as good. If you have too much lime, I don't think it hurts it too much, but too little does. Locks out nutrients.
Yeah. And again, we're just still learning. So we are definitely curious to hear what people have to say about that, because, it's still early in our quote and putting our quotes out, and it is a little concerning. If 10 people are not going to continue with us because we're requiring a soil test, it's a little concerning, and we wouldn't want that, but we also want to make sure that we're doing the proper
that we have
thing.
our set rules that
Yeah.
are set for our business. We want their yard to look perfect.
I honestly, I wish that I could almost tell every client that we fertilize for that we also would like to mow. Just because I think that we have commercial mowers and we can truly mow at 4.25. Whereas, like, I don't think always homeowner mowers go up that high.
Yeah, and then when you say, hey, for the ones we don't mow, can you set the lawn mower, the residential ones, your highest setting, mow it once a week. But we seem to go there and the grass is way lower than the highest setting.
Yeah.
And that does affect how long your grass can withstand drought, the way the roots grow, all them good things.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I think I do notice that our lawns that we consistently keep higher when we're mowing,
They go through droughts better.
Yeah, they really do. In the end, they are definitely our best looking lawns for sure. So
And we're even going to have this soil tested. We
are.
obviously see it works very well, but I want to know what the breakdown, the chemical, what the nutrients levels are in it. If the pH is high because we use a lot of leaves. If the carbon's high, we just want to know. It's a good thing to know, so you're not playing a guessing game with all your plants. I mean, perfect soil. It's like you tell everybody with the building blocks of everything. If you just go buy any willy-nilly concrete to pour your house and it's not tested and approved to be able to handle weight and stuff like that, if it's not mixed right, I'm no concrete expert, the house is going to crumble over
right.
times, right?
And you can't, and you know, we always talk about preventative, and you know, with everything in life, preventative. Well, this is an easy preventative that you can absolutely do. And it just gives you so much information, you know, like, well, should we, you know, maybe try a different.
An unhealthy lawn is a lawn that can get diseased very easily.
Yeah. Very easily.
So, like we said, we're not trying to make a ton of profit off of soil testing the yard. It just helps us maybe even save chemicals and save stuff down the road.
Right.
So I have all mine except for I don't have one more. Where is that zinnia pack at? Maybe there was
one more.
Maybe one more seed now. So,
Well, just take one out of the, because you know that they will germinate.
Yeah.
I know they'll germinate. So they've been doing really well. I've been very, very happy.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with them.
Oh man, after all that, I didn't even do a zinnia one for you, did I?
So this is all I do. I just squish my fingers in there. So hopefully we're gonna let that compost tea that I made earlier bubble for a couple days, and then we're gonna start feeding the plants. But in the meantime, I do have to water a lot of this stuff. The plants that popped up already that are sitting up there back up out of the ground pretty high, I do pour water in the trays and let them suck up from the roots. So I'm not pouring too much. Now when I do the worm casting feeding, I will dump it on the plants and everything too, because it is good for the leaves to suck that up.
And when it rains, the leaves get water. It's just a matter of, will it get enough sunlight? They just tell you not. Same thing with lawns. You don't want to water, at 6 o'clock at night and not give the lawn or the leaves time to dry up, right?
Yes. So hopefully we've been looking online for shelves to put in here for our plants, obviously, because I'm running out of room.
Yeah.
So I might just build one.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna.
I have the wood and the 2x4s. Just build it to put along this wall so I can start putting trays of seeds there. We only need a couple more weeks. I think we're gonna start warming up here, and we'll be able to. We have all these. If you see all
but
the water
even if
jugs.
you build a table, then we can then take it outside.
Yes.
And use
And
it for
just keep 'em
outside
out there
purposes. Yeah.
and stack them up. So the water jugs you guys see back here, I'm gonna cut the bottoms off, and I'm gonna put a lot of my broccolis and stuff out into the garden, and then just jam them like little greenhouse domes, just so I can get a lot of the broccoli out early and get a head start. And I'm not gonna do it with all of it, just in case we get a hard freeze. And then once the temperatures are back to where it's only down to the low 40s, maybe the low 30s, mid 30s, and we can have like a hoop house over some of the stuff, we'll put the rest of the broccolis and stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have a successful garden this year.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to have a successful 2021. That's for sure.
Yes.
That is for sure.
Because we do know a lot of people were affected by everything that went on, like financially, everything. So.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue planting seeds. We're not going to show you every seed we are planting. We'll show you as they pop up. We just wanted to give you guys a couple tips because the lawn care season's coming up. And
yeah.
We are out here planting, so we might as well talk. Hopefully you guys like these planting talks.
I know. We're out here planting, so we might as well just have a conversation.
And one day, I'm going to try to move something out here so we can actually maybe do a live out here while we're planting.
Yeah, well, and maybe what we should even do is a Q&A. Like, if you guys have any questions, then definitely put them down below for us, because then the next planting time, we can then answer your questions.
So that's a good idea, guys. If you watched the video this long, and I know a lot of you guys do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Put any questions you have, lawn care related, homeowner, growing plants related, garden related.
Yeah.
Like we said, we are by no means experts.
No, we're just learning like the rest of you. We are human.
But I mean, we were told you need heat domes and trays and humidity to get seeds to start, and as you guys can see, all I did was water it with a bottle of water and some leaf mold from the garden. And
do you guys want to hear a funny fact? I was reading on the Farmer's Almanac one night, and both Carl and I, our birthdays, I'm April, he's June. We're both supposed to be, I believe, fire signs, which means we're barren. Yeah, that we're not supposed to be able to grow. We're not supposed to have green thumbs. I think, according to wives' tales. But I think funny.
I think it does. Some people have it in them better, but I do think everybody can have a green thumb.
I think it's all about the amount of determination
and patience.
Yeah, and just keep learning. That is if you have been watching us for any amount of time, that is our biggest thing. Always grow, always keep learning, because knowledge is priceless. Yes. It really is.
And patience by means too. Patience is when we have the cat, I go back there to move my plants, and broccoli plants are broken over in half. We have so many.
Well, and if it's not the cat, like I said, as much as we try to prepare, it might be a windstorm that comes in April right after we plant.
Could be anything.
We did that big job a couple weeks ago, and we planted plants, and now I'm gonna have to contact her next week just to make sure. Did they survive?
Yeah,
because
they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they are all hardy plants, and we wouldn't have taken a chance like that. But again, it's just something that you have to prepare for, and if we do have to replace one, we have to replace one. That's life. It happens.
So guys, thanks for watching again. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, and please be happy, or at least try.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.